Well, here we are in the middle of the summer, and we are looking at what's happening here in the north end of Lake Washington, the Shoreline, Edmonds, Lynnwood, and Bothell areas, just to give us a cross-section of what might be going on in our neighborhood as opposed to some of the other places like Bellevue, Tacoma, that are not relevant. So let's dive in. And I will say, just remember, the real estate market here in the Seattle area does tend to slow down in the summer, but we are seeing some other general trends that I want to point out what's been happening and what I think that means for us going forward. So right now we are looking at the Shoreline, Lynnwood, Bothell, and Edmonds area, and you can see with this key on the right which line matches with which city, and we have the median home prices up here on the screen. And so as you can see across the board, if you look at these little percentage changes here on the side, Bothell is the one that is softening the most. We are down 6% from where we were last June to this June, with softer home prices overall. And this reflects a trend. I just also recorded a different video focusing on Bellevue and some other areas. The whole east side seems to be following the path of softening in the wake, particularly of a lot of layoffs in the tech market, and luxury home prices, I think, also are seeing some softening as some people do choose to move in light of the new millionaires tax that is coming out. What that means for buyers is a little bit more opportunity, a little bit more selection, and more time to choose what you want. So let's look into the data here. And I did have to smooth this out. So we're looking at a blended 3-month average. It was just too bouncy to make heads or tails of it without this blending. So just want to give you a heads up on that. And then as we look again, home prices are down across the board, but staying relatively stronger in Shoreline and Lynnwood on the west side, which I think is just due to the fact that those areas did not balloon up quite so much with the tech money. Those were not tech targeted neighborhoods. If we look at new listings here, we can see that new listings this May kind of surpassed the high water point of new listings last May. So we are up here with more inventory being listed later in summer. Again, after this law was passed. Lynnwood seeing the most year-over-year increase, 36% more listings in June than last June. Edmonds 24% more listings than last year. Bothell 16% more. Shoreline staying relatively even, and I would say reflective of my own experience listing homes this spring. I have seen Shoreline homes moving fairly quickly, especially at least in the affordable price point. I've seen multiple offers in Edmonds as well, so it's not to say that everything is going to the dogs here. Here we're looking at homes for sale and just seeing that there are a lot. You can tell since 2024 we've had rising inventory levels every year, but now we're at a new high, which is just, again, giving buyers a little bit less motivation to act quickly and make a decision right away. They know there will be another home to list. There are a lot of other homes for them to look at. They can take their time and negotiate a little harder when they do make an offer, especially if they notice that the home has been on the market for longer than usual. Our homes selling, our homes going under contract, our homes pending. Fewer this year than in past years. You can see the number of pending home sales has significantly decreased this year. We're down 14% in the Bothell area. In other areas, Edmonds, Lynnwood, we are up. If we take away this red Bothell line that's showing such peaks and valleys, you can see we actually have a little bit more home sales on the Lynnwood green line and the purple Edmonds line. Shoreline staying relatively flat, softening a little bit at 4%. And that's how many properties go under contract. Do they make it all the way to the closing table, or do they fall out because of inspections, financing, other things? And we can see, again, like some of these numbers are up. Lynnwood is up. Let's see, 14% of closings, 28% of pendings. So this would suggest, again, going with the buyers being pickier. They're not staying under contract as strongly even when they do make an offer. Now, days on market tells the story of once you put that sign in the yard and start marketing your home, when does it actually go somewhere? When does it sell? When do you get a buyer to sign on the dotted line? And on average, that's taking about 10 days, 6 days in the fast-moving markets, 13 days in Bothell as the slowest. But that's median. That means half take that time or less, half take more. On average, we are seeing a little bit longer days, 26, 23, 21. So there are plenty of homes that are hanging out on the market for longer than they probably should. Month supply, we're still fairly well in a seller's market here. Bothell, again, on the east side, we're seeing the most softening on the east side. So Bothell is bouncing into a little bit of buyer's market territory. I usually say 3 months and longer, you're looking at a bit of a buyer's market. 3 months and below, you're solidly in the seller's market territory. So Shoreline, 2 months, definitely a seller's market, still in that area. This is the same thing, closed versus pending. We talked a little bit about how not everything that goes under contract ends up closing. So this is reflective of that. And it's a little bit more of a lagging indicator. Pendings happened in the month of June. Closings went pending in May and closed in June. Are we getting full price for our homes? Well, we're getting pretty much full asking price. What about this? So this is the original price. We're seeing more homes doing price drops these days. And so again, in Bothell, our softest of these markets, we're seeing 98% of the original price. That doesn't mean that it's the price. You might need to drop your price in order to get your offer. 97% on average. Again, looking at both median and average data here. Price per square foot is actually up in Shoreline over last year. Up in Edmonds, just a little bit. Down 3% in Lynnwood and Bothell. Not a huge change in any of the markets. And how many showings does it take to get your house sold? I usually tell people to expect 10. If you've had 10 people through your house and no offers yet, then chances are it's overpriced. It's not fulfilling the expectations of the buyers in some way. So that is the point at which it may make sense to consider a price adjustment. So overall, we have seen some softening in the Seattle area this year. It is perhaps the reprieve that buyers have been waiting for years. We have a combination of high selection and a little bit of negotiating power for buyers. This does not mean any kind of disaster for sellers. It doesn't mean a market crash. It just means some pullback, especially in areas most affected by the run-up in the tech market. And now we're seeing softening in the tech market, softening in the luxury sectors. So depending on who you are, where you are, and what you're trying to accomplish, this could be good or bad news. Make sure you stay tuned to this channel. We go into what's happening in different parts of the city, as well as different segments and price points. If you have a particular home you'd like me to evaluate, please let me know. You can always reach me on my website, homeproassociates.com.